All right, we are now being joined by Scott Coker. Go ahead, Nolan.
All right, Scott. Second event of the Showtime era is over. Just got over. And what did you think of the main event? I mean, you told me before the fight that you thought it would be a totally different fight than the first time these two fighters fought. What'd you think?
Man, that was a brutal main event. I mean, the body shots that Ryan was taking in the very beginning, and even the head kick. I said, wow, he's in trouble. I thought he was in a lot of trouble in that first round after the first round was over. Then I would say in the middle of the second round, things started changing, and he just, I think he took control of the fight from that point forward.
Was that the start to the Grand Prix that you were looking for?
Yeah, I mean, listen, that was a great fight, and it became one-sided after the end of the third round. But Lyoto's a tough competitor. He took a lot of damage, and he could have quit too, but he didn't. He hung in there. And Ryan did what Ryan does best. He took him down, controlled him, ground and pound him, and really. I mean, he hit. Lyoto took a lot of shots. I mean, I saw his face after the fight. It was brutal.
And also on the card, Kat Zingano won submission first round. She came back here and she said she'd like the winner of Cris Cyborg versus Leslie Smith. Do you think that she's aligned herself for a title shot next?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know her history and her record, and I think that she's ready and she's got to do it now. I mean, why not do it? So, with this victory, I think she's got 2 in a row, and let's see what happens with the Cyborg fight. And then, she could fight Cyborg at the end of the year.
She wasn't the only fighter who called for a title shot. Liz Carmouche in your co-main event. What did you think of her performance, and do you think she's aligned herself for a title shot?
I thought she looked good. I thought she looked really good. And, her opponent is tough and seasoned veteran from Brazil. I mean, she just has all the elements that made it a tough fight. But, Liz has been around a long time. She's also a seasoned veteran. And when I think about what's next for her, is it a title shot? We don't know. We'll go back and we'll evaluate, but I think that she's definitely right up there in the top 3 or 4.
And I saw you speaking cage side to Steven Espinosa and Jaron Ennis during the event. How long do you think it will be before we see some cross promotion or some sort of funkiness with Showtime boxing?
Yeah, I mean, listen, this is a double header. You get MMA on Friday, you get boxing on Saturday, and I've always said it since we announced the partnership. This is the best value in combat sports now. So to me, it's 44 events a year of combat sports. That's quite a schedule, and you can see it all on Showtime.
One other note too, going back to the main event, Ryan Bader, he's your heavyweight champion too. So what do you think you do with the heavyweight title? He told me before the fight he's not going to vacate. He thinks it's time for an interim title, if anything. What are your thoughts?
I think it is. Ryan's obviously going to move forward in the tournament now, so we're gonna most likely put together an interim title, which we'll have something to announce probably in a couple weeks, maybe even by next week's event we might have something to announce, but I think we're gonna be heading in that direction now.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Hey Scott, great event. I'm just wondering, what were your personal highlights from today outside of the main event?
Boy, I think if you look at Diana, and she looked amazing. It was a very short fight, but that was a brutal 3-punch combination that I have not seen somebody with that kind of striking skills at that age. She's 22 years old. She's had 2 fights, and I've heard that she comes from a gym that just has a bunch of killers in it, and that's what you're seeing here. Is her fighting and sparring and training with a bunch of really good athletes and good fighters, and we didn't know what to expect, honestly. And I think she performed. She did what she was supposed to do tonight.
Yeah, she did. And she finished quicker than Valerie Loreda did as well. I kind of think that would be quite a good fight. Don't know what you think to that.
Yeah, I mean, let's see how Valerie looks. I think she's fighting either on the 7th or the 21st. But we'll definitely, think about that fight and consider that.
Lastly from me, there was just a little bit of controversy with the decision with Dan Moret and Yamashaki. I was just wondering what you thought on that.
Yeah, you're talking about the Yamaguchi fight?
Yeah, Yamaguchi.
I mean, if you look at the punch count, it definitely went, the other way, Yamaguchi. But if you look at the control, the jiu-jitsu, and I think that, personally, I thought that Yamaguchi probably won the fight. But if you look at it from a judge's standpoint, they only have an instant to score it, and I honestly would hate to be a judge. you know, and it is what it is. And if you look at like I said, the punch count, I talked to Mike Mazzulli about it. He said the punch count was all the other way. So, you know, Yamaguchi got outscored. And I told Yamaguchi's manager, because he was texting me, you know, and I said, look, you know, at the end of the day, he's in a fight. He's got to advance to win, to submit or knockout, and he's got to get busier. And you can't leave it in the judges' scorecards. You know, if you want to win, you've got to go out and you have to do it. So, you know, he'll be back. He's a good fighter. He'll be back.
All right, we'll take a couple more here. Maria?
Hi, Scott. Maria from Throwing Bows Podcast. 2 questions for you. But first and foremost, congratulations on a fantastic event. In her post-fight, Kat spoke about the fact that she really appreciates the attention that is being given to her weight class here at Bellator. She even, you know, went as far as to kind of comment how in some other places that may not be the case. What is the organization's plan to continue to grow the 145-pound division for women?
I mean, this is a division that we're committed to, and if you look at the top fighters from around the world, that at 145, they all fight here. And to me, we have the best 145-pound division in the planet. If you look at, you know, our champion, Cris Cyborg, definitely the GOAT to me as far as female fighting, and the girls that, you know, that are here to fight her are, you know, the top 10 in the world. So we have the best fighters here in that division, and also our commitment is to continue to grow this division. And if you're a female fighter and you're out there, you know, I'm sure my guys are out there talking to everybody, and we're going to continue to grow this division. And, you know, quite frankly, you know, maybe next year this could be one of the tournaments that we're talking about. So, you know, we really want to do a female tournament, and it'll be at 25 or 45, and let's see how it goes. But the 145-pound weight class is going to get, you know, healthier and healthier as far as I'm concerned.
Awesome. And tonight in your men's bantamweight division, Jonel Lugo dominated Cass Bell, I think in a way that many of us may not have expected. He said after the fight that pretty much, you know, he'll fight whoever you put in front of him. Anyone in particular within the weight class in the top 10 that you could possibly see him facing next?
You know, I think that, you know, Cass is a good journeyman. I think both of these people have like 5 gentlemen have about 5 or 6 fights. You know, I think let's get him a couple more fights before we start throwing you into the deep water, because that's a division that is very deep here at Bellator, and I think that they're going to want a couple more fights before they get there.
Giancarlo?
Hi, Scott. Just curious if you have an update on the welterweight division. Douglas Lima, the champion, hasn't fought since he moved up to challenge for the middleweight title, and you had that fight with Jackson and Gracie. Just curious if you identified another contender to challenge him for the title.
Yes, I mean, the good news is we do have the opponent. It is locked down. Bout contracts are already signed and back, but the bad news is we're not going to announce it until next week. So you're going to have to tune in next week on Showtime, and you'll get it firsthand.
Will do, and I guess you're probably the best source to ask here. I asked you about last week about the Canada update. Is there another update yet for that?
As far as the distribution in Canada?
Yeah.
Yeah, right now the distribution is on Showtime's YouTube channel. You can watch it, and same with the Bellator YouTube channel for Canada. We are making some moves up there, and you know, it's going to be probably another 2 or 3 months, but we'll have a broadcast partner soon. In the meantime, we've opened the market and the territory. We have a GeoBlock Canada, so all the Canadian fans can watch Bellator for free up there.
Keith Schilling?
Hey Scott, Keith Schilling, Sherdog. Congratulations on a great night.
Thank you.
You said last week you're going to have a couple nuggets for us. You did give us the Cyborg Leslie Smith. Now you're saying next week. Is there anything you can give us this week?
No, there's a couple big fights that we have lined up, but I promised everybody, all the PR team at Showtime, that I would not reveal the fights. But we'll have 2 big fights. We'll announce Gegard's fight next week, and we'll announce Douglas Lima's fight next week. So tune into Showtime. You'll hear it live from Marlon Big John.
Another question, similar to what Nolan asked earlier. Adam Borish also called for a title shot. Do you think he did enough tonight to maybe render a title shot against the winner of Pitbull and McKee?
You know what? We'll see. I mean, honestly, I felt like that fight was really close, and you know, I'd like to see Adam get a little bit busier. To be honest, right? And to me, it's like, you know, it was a great fight, and it's but he's got to get busier in that fight. And my inclination is we'll probably fight him a couple times before we give him that shot.
All right, last one here, Dana.
Hey Scott, congrats on a great event. Do you have any sort of plan or roadmap to bringing fans back into the arena for Bellator shows? I know that the UFC are going to do a huge event in Florida. We've seen Matchroom Boxing put on events in Texas and Florida. Will you at some point have to move out of Mohegan Sun and start hitting the road again, or what's your plan going forward for bringing fans in?
Yeah, you know what? That's a very good question, and we are in touch with the Vicom COVID Task Force, and they are the ones that govern our ability to, and operate and stay in protocol. And we've had conversations with them about moving forward and getting out of the bubble and start promoting fights. We are monitoring the tiers, the different colors of tiers like they have in California, as to what tier LA is, what tier the Bay Area is. How can we promote effectively and make sure that it works financially for us? Because if it's still a kind of a lockdown version throughout the country, except for a couple states, it's going to be tough. But when everything does open up, we will definitely get on the road. I can see light at the end of the tunnel. I think everybody just has to be patient. We're going to be here, through the June fights anyway. But maybe through, maybe in the beginning of July or end of July or September, August, September, in that time frame, we'll definitely, I think, be on the road at some point. And we're already out there talking to all the venues that we normally go to. And I think before the end of the year, you'll see Bellator on the road in a big way.
All right, thanks, Scott.
Thank you.